Well, welcome back to the Roundtable. This is episode something in season 3. I say episode something because I legitimately do not remember what episode this is. It's probably 4. No, it's probably 5, actually, because 3 and 4, we talked about that wonderful show, Silo. And here we are. Now we're going to be talking about some other things. Templar 10, it's good to see you. And before we jump into, I don't know, kind of all of the things we're going to be talking about, specifically Sony and, we are the home for late breaking news, news that came out on January 7th that is now January 30th. What are you going to do? We're 3 weeks late.
People have been waiting for our takes, though, so it's fine.
I think the internet itself has been waiting for our takes. You mentioned very briefly that off camera that you guys were out shopping for a chair, and you mentioned it's like a Lazy Boy recliner chair. And I made mention of the fact that a Lazy Boy is life. Like it's kind of where you live. Do you have like a chair in your house? Not like your office chair, like this is a chair, of course, and the kitchen chairs. Do you have that spot that you go to just like, I got a book, I got a cup of coffee or whatever, and I'm going to sit there? Do you have that place?
The chair that if I'm reading anywhere, the chair I use for that is the chair that would be replaced with the Lazy Boy if we were to get it. So it's okay for me, but Sarah's been having some trouble with her back, so she was wanting to maybe get a new one. No, I don't have like a real like reading nook or like a sort of dedicated space like that. It's just sort of our place is fairly small here, so it's sort of just a chair in the living room if I'm going to read somewhere. That's about it.
So you guys you're going to share the Lazy Boy then?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Wow. That's fine. If we get one, that'll be okay. I'm usually in here anyway, and she works on her stuff out there, so it's fine.
Yeah, this is a big day though. Big day. I'm telling you, man, that once you go recliner, you age 15 years and you never turn back. You don't. So just be ready. You might as well get a pocket full of Werthers and a box of Kleenex and some of that weird old people lotion that they just always smell like. And
I'll get some Gold Bond.
Is that the smell? Is that? I have never been able to.
When I think of that, I think it's just Gold Bond because I just remember all the commercials from when I was younger. So
or Tough Actin' Tinactin, boom with John Madden. Sure. Yeah, although that was more athlete's foot. Man, that's John Madden. Rest in power. We're not here to talk about John Madden. Instead, we're here to talk about some of the greatest things that have happened recently. Most notably, the fact that Sony Pictures, Sony Productions, who we commonly know for a number of things for TVs and stereo receivers and also like entertainment, Spider-Man and the like. A couple of weeks ago, they announced that they were actually going to be releasing, or they were going to be developing shows for some of our favorite video games. I don't think I'm going overboard by saying that these 3 shows or these 3 games that these shows are going to be based off of: Horizon Zero Dawn, fantastic game, very, very good game; Ghost of Tsushima, which we'll talk about in a little bit, also fantastic, very good game; and Helldivers 2, which is left field, but also like it had a hot moment there. I don't think I'm being overblown by saying like these are very good games, and so they're actually adapting these. A la The Last of Us adaptation, on HBO. And I guess, Templar, I wanted to get your thoughts before we dive any further and before I kind of put my spin on this. But what did you think when you read the news? And like, what do you think about these 3 video games in particular being picked to get adaptations for the silver screen, as they call it?
Yeah, my initial reaction was kind of a couple questions, or an inference from this is these are 3 franchises that Sony thinks are sort of pillars for them, or at least have enough interest in them that making a movie or television show out of it would be successful. That's my assumption from it. Ghost of Tsushima is being made into an anime, so it's sort of staying within a sort of similar vein, I guess, to when it, like, very Japanese. Like, there's a Akira Kurosawa mode you can play the game in. So it's certainly staying very much within sort of Japanese entertainment landscape. Fair enough. So the other 2, Helldivers and Horizon, I have 2 different questions for. Helldivers is how is it going to be functionally different from Starship Troopers that it's largely based on? Like Helldivers is already riffing on Starship Troopers, and there is a Starship Troopers movie.
Right.
So I'm interested to see what they do with that. And then Horizon, I have a kind of bigger picture question is that Sony has really pushed Horizon as a pillar franchise for them. I agree with you that Horizon Zero Dawn is a very good game. Do you think people care about Horizon in the way Sony seems to think people care about Horizon as a franchise?
No, but I would have said the same thing about The Last of Us. I understand The Last of Us was a critical darling.
The Last of Us was like a sensation. Like The Last of Us is sort of it's still talked about as like one of the best Sony games, PlayStation games of all time.
I agree. And I'm not saying I don't think Horizon is as good narratively as Last of Us. I think Horizon is a better game overall than Last of Us because I'm gonna be honest, like I did not like the gameplay in Last of Us. You don't go to that game for the game. You're right. Like it's the sneaking, it's floaty,
you go for the
and
storytelling.
Yeah, you go for the storytelling. It's very bad to play. Horizon, on the flip side of that, Horizon's a very fun game to play. Like there's a lot going on there. There's traps and there's robot dinosaurs and there's climbing and there's just it's good. There's riding around on this like rhinoceros looking thing. It's awesome. So all that being said, like no, I don't think Horizon has the same cachet as The Last of Us. What I do think, though, and you and I talked about this maybe in another stream ages ago, because that's all we do is like talking to cameras on the internet. I think that the story in Horizon, I think what they're going to do with Horizon, if I had to prognosticate, is that they're just going to tell the Horizon Zero Dawn story. It was very cinematic already. There was a lot of really cool revelations towards the end. I mean, even throughout the whole thing, it was one of those games that I did not want to put down. It's not like super vulgar. It's not overly sexualized. Like they don't overly sexualize Aloy. I think it can be like, I don't know. I think this is not one of those like HBO gritty, type of movies. To me, this feels like this goes to Peacock or Netflix. Well, maybe not even Netflix.
Sure. The vibe of it is not that dark, although there is some stuff. I mean, if they're adapting the story of the first game, there's some stuff in there that's like fairly dark. I mean, it's a bit of a mystery box game in a sense, right?
Sure.
Like, because a lot of it is just uncovering why the world is the way that it is. Honestly, it's a very cliche thing to say, but I do sort of feel like it would be more well suited for a TV show than a movie, because I think there's a lot of ground to cover in Zero Dawn in a movie. But they can probably do it. I mean, I think it could be just like a fun action movie. You could have a lot of action because the enemies are mostly like robotic, so you could still get like a PG-13 and still have pretty intense action because they're like robot enemies, which is cool.
Yeah,
and I think the mystery of it would be cool. I would like to see that play out over longer. So I question the decision to make it a movie over a TV show. But I just don't know if people are as invested in this franchise as Sony thinks that they are. Like Zero Dawn was a good game. I like it a lot. I like the story a lot. Forbidden West, I didn't really get into. I've been meaning to try it again. But I feel like there was some hype for that game. It came out. It all kind of disappeared.
Yes.
Then there was the Call of the Mountain, which is the VR game that I don't know. I don't think it was that popular, but I'm not sure. The Lego game, which came out recently, that bombed catastrophically.
Yes, it did.
So like, I don't know how much people care about Horizon Zero Dawn. I do feel like if it was very well done, like if it was a TV show on a streaming service, then it could be something in the vein of like Arcane, where it's like you're attracting people to it. They maybe don't know the game that well, but they might get attracted to it if it's just well done. A movie, you're going to need to convince people to go. And is the fan base big enough for it? And are you going to be able to convince people who have no attachment to it to go see a movie of it? Like that's my question surrounding Zero Dawn.
Yeah. So first off, in our Twitch chat, so we're recording this live on Twitch as well as going to YouTube. Hello, Capsian. Hello, Seanboy. Hello, Zeph. And hello, Robotic Dinosaurs gets folks in the seats. So that's Cap is not wrong there. And
that,
Dusty
Transformers movie with the dinosaurs, I feel like didn't do all that well. So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but it had Transformers attached to it. And Transformers historically, outside of the cartoons, just Transformers movies have been yuck. Yes, you go for Taylor Kitsch and the Kitsch value, but like, come on, they're bad movies. So one thing, and then I'm going to come back to Dusty Disciples' question. My spin, my kind of angle and take on this is there's one line in here in this article from Forbes. It says Sony announced this latest round of adaptations at its CES press conferences this week, which was, again, 3 weeks ago. This is the line that got me. The new movies will be based on Helldivers and Horizon Zero Dawn. Not that they're going to tell the same stories as Helldivers and Zero Dawn. So in my head, this is a Rings of Power scenario where they're going to be living in the same world. Yeah, I know. Bad, right?
That's not
no. It is not. It is not the glowing. That's what I'm. That's my angle on this. I don't think they're going to be good. I'm not stumping for these. In fact, I think
if I was involved in the production of this Zero Dawn movie, I'd be like, "Don't put that evil on me." don't.
Hey, Sony, look at me. I will clip this for socials. Hey, Sony, look at me. Do not do Horizon like Amazon did Lord of the Rings. Please, just don't do it. I have reverence for Lord of the Rings, and I actually like Horizon. Please don't Rings of Power me. No, that line that it will be based on Helldivers and based on Horizon Zero Dawn. I can see them telling the origin story of Aloy and her dad. You know, I can see that happening. I think it's going to suck if they do that.
I'd rather they just do the game. Just do the game.
Same.
Like, the game has a good story. Just tell the game story. Like,
same.
If they're going to do it, I would rather... I would rarely say that, but honestly, because I'm usually not for things that are just remakes, like straightforward that way of like another thing, but just do the game. The game story is good. It's good mystery. Seeing what happened to the world is cool. I think that would be engaging for people.
Agreed.
But yeah, they might. Helldivers could be fun because the tone of Helldivers is fun. So
it is.
You could do a lot of satire with the sort of disposable. I just imagine like opening on, the recruiting stuff, like the propaganda stuff, cut immediately to like people getting shredded, people coming out of pods and getting sent down to the planet. There's like this machine line, them just like churning them out and getting like destroyed. Or it's even something like that Mickey 17 trailer that just came out recently, where it's like the same guy getting recycled, and it's sort of a version of that. You just see him go down, die, come out, go down, die, come out. Like there's a lot of fun stuff they could do with Helldivers if they lean into the more like ludicrous side of it. Because otherwise you don't want it to be too much like Starship Troopers.
Well, and don't they actually do that in the opening scenes of Helldivers? It's been like a year since I played Helldivers.
They basically do. Yeah, they do. There's like all the propaganda stuff, and then I think they also do that in the opening of Starship Troopers.
Yes, they do.
I think.
Yes.
Where they open with them all getting slaughtered, and then they like cut to propaganda, I think, or something. Like,
and that's I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. It's that meme.
I'm doing my part. Would you like to know more?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm that. My take is like I don't think these are going to be good. Somebody in our chat, Capsian and Zeph, both mentioned the WoW movie. I think this goes to the. Thank you, Zeph, for clipping that. So on our Twitch, we have one of our wonderful mods just clipped my Hey Sony thing. So the idea there that I think out of the three of these, the Ghost of Tsushima one is going to be the only good one, and that's because it's already essentially an anime. And so I think they just put that right into the Demon Slayer studio.
Yeah, Dusty Disciple asked if Sony does Ghost of Tsushima, do you think it could be as good as Shogun? I mean, it's an anime, so it is going to be different than Shogun.
Yes.
I don't know. It could be. I still need to finish Shogun. That's
dude.
I need to go back. I need to go back to Shogun because I watched a few episodes and then I just moved on to other things. I really need to go back to it. But I think it'll be good. Again, I don't know if it's just the game story, because if it is, again, that's cool. I'm into it if it's just the game, or if they're going to do something else, because like the sequel is like not connected at all. It's just called Ghost of Yotai, I think.
Yeah, Yotai.
But it's not really connected at all, other than embracing this idea of like the ghost, like the whatever rogue samurai, like assassin, whatever.
What I want to see is them mash up Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghosts of Yotai and make the Ghost of Tsushima anime. There you go.
Sure. So
and then just
yeah,
watch
I mean,
it bomb.
I hope they're decent. I'd love to see a good Zero Dawn movie. I'm kind of with you in that I'm not particularly optimistic of that being the outcome. I think it would be harder to make a good Zero Dawn movie. I think a Helldivers movie is more. There's more you could kind of do and just kind of have some fun with it.
Yes.
Because of the sort of inherently kind of silly tone of it in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Zero Dawn, I think, is more complicated storytelling wise, especially depending on what route they go. Whether it's just the game, whether it's a prequel, whether it's like another tribe, even just sort of in this world, because the world that's set up is an interesting one. So there's plenty they could do.
Yes. This, of course, brings up in a couple minutes we have left. This, of course, brings up the God of War TV series as well that they are doing for some very bad reason. I don't know why. I don't think there's anything. Jason Momoa, this is the trivia. Jason Momoa is interested in the role of Kratos because, of course, he is.
Makes sense.
Because, yes. But there's literally like they enlisted a story guy, Ronald D. Moore. And that's all that's out right now about this. So I don't know.
It's an Amazon thing, though. So again, I'm
right.
not optimistic.
They'll throw $1 billion at it, though, right?
Yeah, we'll have to watch 5 seasons of it because they commit so much money to it. Just like Rings of Power, they're committed to making 12 seasons of this show that nobody wants.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they already spent so much money.
And then, of course, this brings up, if anybody in our chat has ever seen this show, the Twisted Metal series on Peacock, which both of us had forgotten existed until like 15 minutes ago. And then we looked at it, and it actually got decent reviews, 67 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.3 on IMDb. And it's got some people in it. Like there are some heavy hitters in this kind of makeup here. I'm almost like I almost want to watch it.
I'm kind of interested in checking it out. Like it looked so bad from the trailer. The trailer made it look like the Borderlands movie.
Yes.
Like I saw it and I'm like, no, this is going to be like a 1.5 out of 10, like absolute just disaster. And apparently it's actually okay, at least from those reviews. Like, and having a higher IMDb, like IMDb, I think usually more reflects audience,
yes,
numbers, like
yes,
more like what do kind of regular people think of it more than critics.
Yes.
And it has a decent, like that's a decent enough score, 7.3 or whatever it is. I actually am kind of interested. I assumed this kind of came out and was nothing, and I had already lumped it in with Borderlands, the movie, in my mind, but apparently not. So, hey.
Jason Mantzoukas is in it. I mean, I think he's great. Thomas Hayden Church. This is Samoa Joe, not Joe Cianoa. This is Samoa Joe, the wrestler. Anthony Mackie, Stephanie Beatriz, Will Arnett, Mike Mitchell. I mean, there's some like actors in here, man. Like good actors, not just like, that's cute. They tried. So I don't know, man. I'd be interested in watching this. Maybe we should do a roundtable on Forgotten Gems. Yeah. It'd be nobody would watch it on YouTube. No, everybody
Forgotten
would just be
Gems. Our first episode is on Twisted Metal of all things.
What would be another Forgotten Gem? What do you think? What do you think we could pull out of the hat? Huh.
Forgotten Gems. I mean, I mentioned it. I had a Babylon 5 reference earlier.
Oh, that's true. Babylon 5. Well, there's probably enough on the internet about Babylon 5, right? That show was around for a while.
It's 5 seasons, I think. Yeah, it got referenced on The Big Bang Theory a decent amount. So that's, I would imagine, why, if anyone now knows it, it would probably mostly be from that.
That's true. I mean, Battlestar is always one I would pull out because I just feel like everyone always glosses. But you never watched it?
No, never saw it. I was kind of interested, but I mean, I never.
It's pretty hard sci-fi. Firefly, yeah. I mean, but Firefly is Farscape. Farscape is a good one.
Farscape.
Whoa. No. Treasure Planet. Get out of here with your Treasure Planet. St. Bear. All the F's.
Hey, whoa. Wait, what?
You heard me. Get out of here with your
Treasure
Chino?
Planet.
You heard me.
Whoa.
We got to end this episode because we got to record another episode.
Chino.
Yes.
No, Chino. Treasure Planet?
Yes, Treasure Planet.
I'm not here for the Treasure Planet slander.
Well, we're not going to be here at all. We have to end this episode.
That's fine. we'll talk about it another time.
All right. Thanks for catching us on this episode of the Roundtable. We're going to close up shop here. Hey, remember, we are streaming this live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Lux Digital Church, but we are also part of Lux Digital Church, and we are here to really just bring light and love and community to the internet, and also the name of Jesus to the internet. So if you're interested in anything like that, please do us a favor and click in the doodly-doos below me. There's like a Discord link down there. We'd love to have you join our family over there, or just, hit subscribe on this and make sure that you come laugh with us or at us. Whatever you want to do, you can just laugh. I think that's it. Templar, anything else before we wrap up this episode?
No, that'll about do it. Looking forward to what comes of these projects, and thanks everyone for checking out the video. We'll see you around.
Absolutely. We love you. We will talk to you next time. Bye.